Took the stick out of the hands of Zellweger. Play continues. Mayfield, look, now shoots. Tick, wide, Mitchell scores! One to remember for Travis Mitchell.
Unless you've lived it, I mean, I don't think there's words that can describe it. I was super excited. It was a really surreal moment.
We were able to see him celebrate and just able to rewatch it over and over and just couldn't believe it.
His first goal in the NHL.
It was pretty unbelievable. Like I was saying, you dream of it to kind of score in the NHL and then to finally actually do it. Like I said, you play like basement hockey, like all that, like you're always dreaming of playing in the NHL.
Travis was born as a little hockey rink rat because his dad was playing, so I used to take him to the games. He'd go in the locker room, visit all the guys.
I played major junior in the Ontario Hockey League, had a 4-year stint with the Dallas Stars. I would practice in the morning, then Jody would bring him up and we would take him out on the ice and skate.
Then we moved back to Michigan and he continued playing, and then same with our other 2 kids through the suburban ice down the road from Novi. They grew up and then transitioned to Novi.
I think those things just really made him want to do it. I know he was really young at the time. It's just something that was in our genetics, and that's what he just wanted to do.
He had done an interview with somebody with the Islanders about Travis getting his first goal and that he was going to dedicate it to his dad. Sorry, I get a little emotional. And so I thought that was really cool. Jeff has, coached him growing up the whole entire way. He was a huge part of Travis, him growing up with hockey. Jeff, he has battled cancer for the last 2.5 years. So for him to dedicate that, it was just really special.
I guess in life there's a lot of things that happen to families and all that. And we went through a lot. We had a hard battle. We fought it as a family, and for him to dedicate that puck, I can't sit here and say how it makes me feel, but I can tell you what, it's something I'll treasure forever.
Hockey has just been like a whole family, situation where it has taken us a lot of places that I thought, we'd never go.
It allowed us to be a family, we would travel 12 games in a weekend and exhausted, and time that you have that you look back on now, I wouldn't have changed it for anything.
I work the Learn to Skate nights at the rink, and I really enjoy that because I love seeing all the little kids come in and just how excited they are. It brings back a lot of memories for me, just of our kids doing that and the path that they've taken.
All those little kids that are out there, that their dreams and aspirations, those were the same little dreams and aspirations my kids had. Whether that comes true for all of them or just for Trav, it's my job is to help foster that. If they want to go public, just recreational skating, we offer that. If they want to learn how to skate, we have it. If they want to go watch Olympic ice dancers, we have it. You're going to be coming to the rink and you're going to be doing something as a family.
To be able to watch him, like as a little guy, growing up and the path that he's taken, just super proud.
For him, he's still trying to figure out the journey. He's just grateful. He's grateful of what we've done for him. He's grateful of what his coaches have done for him. He's the type of kid that's never satisfied. If he gets 1 game, he wants 2, and if he gets 2, he wants 5. I also think that's what keeps him going and keeps him humble. He's in a good spot, good organization, and he's just looking for his next opportunity.